Hey there, it's Sarah, author, speaker, and advocate for sustainable healing. Welcome to my YouTube channel. For those of you who have been with me for some time, welcome back. It's good to have you here. And for those of you who are visiting for the very first time, I hope you find the information and resources useful. If you do, please make sure to like and share my videos, as well as hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, so that you never miss a weekly update. This week, we're going to take a closer look inside the narcissistic relationship. So to the average person, it is intuitively understood that one cannot assert control over everything in life. In fact, the only thing that is within each of our control is our own actions and reactions. However, this fact is not so intuitive to a pathological narcissist. They feel as if they must maintain control over every aspect of their life. So clearly the need to maintain dominance over what is understood by most to be largely uncontrollable is a character flaw, and is not pure coincidence that narcissistic personality disorder shows up in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, or DSM for short. Because narcissism has been widely popularized by the media, it is important to understand that this is a spectrum disorder, and to say one is narcissistic may be far different than to say one has NPD. In fact, everyone is narcissistic to a certain degree. Narcissism is an inherent humanistic trait and is only considered to be a mental disorder when it crosses the line into pathological and harmful behavior. So while the term narcissism is widespread, there is a certain set of criteria that one must meet in order to be diagnosed with NPD. That being said, if an individual has NPD, one cannot assume he or she views the world in the same light as everyone else. The mindset of a pathological narcissist is entirely self-centered and egocentric, and the rest of the world exists to serve the narcissist's needs. This means there is no difference to the narcissist between people and inanimate objects. In the mindset of this individual, a spouse may, for example, serve his needs the same as his stove does. Both cook his meals. While this seems entirely illogical and unfair, the narcissist sees absolutely nothing wrong with making this connection. Because this is the mindset of an individual who has NPD, it is only natural to assume that narc believes that he has control over his spouse the same way as he does over his stove. The spouse is an extension of self that exists solely for the purpose of fulfilling the narcissist's needs. When the stove breaks, the narcissist feels like he has lost control over an aspect of his space. This frustrates him, and he will likely blame the other thing that cooks his meals, the spouse. Because the stove and the spouse were supposed to make sure the narcissist can eat, in the mind of the narc, clearly the spouse is not living up to her role. This scenario may seem ridiculous, but it should hopefully shed some light on how the narcissist's mind operates. Understanding this, it can be easier to understand why it's easier to make someone with NPD their life as simple as possible and help maintain control rather than go against the grain. Because any loss of control on the narcissist's part means that those in his intimate space are going to suffer. So next week we will discuss how to maintain this back and forth with a narcissist while in an intimate space without slipping into total dependence and entirely losing one's sense of self. As a disclaimer though, it is always best to end a toxic relationship and go entirely no contact whenever possible. This is the only way to ensure a narcissist can no longer maintain the sadistic control and wear a victim down. So I hope that was helpful. Again, please make sure to like and share my videos, as well as hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, so that you never miss a weekly update. And I will see you again very soon.